Hello Seawolf! So a little later than usual because I had the interview with Pieter Herema today earlier, but finally got home I think in time to put a little later show for you together. Gonna be a short one, but I think that you're all going to really like the interview tomorrow. Some very eye-opening things going on in there, so definitely don't miss that episode. And I want to start today, of course, first with a toast. So I hope you have something delicious in your cup. Shall we go? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and oh, nice. So, some good news from Cape Town. Now, this is not 100% confirmed, as far as I know, because I haven't heard her actually say it. So we might be actually premiering this, but I heard through sources that 99.9% sure that if Sam Davis is able to get the boat fixed in a timely fashion, that she will continue the course. So it won't actually be in the race, but she will, rejoin the fleet and, do the rest of the course of the Vendee as she normally would had she not broken down, and she will finish this, obviously in order to really, put down the full support for the great charity, that she is, racing for. So I think really amazing news, and I really hope that she gets it done, that she get the boat fixed. As I understand, it's being hauled out right now, and they're checking the damage, hoping that it's fixable in a timely fashion. So let's all hope for that. There is a chance, I wouldn't say it's a very small chance, there's a reasonably chance that either later today or tomorrow I might be able to do a little video conference interview actually with Sam. I'm working on that right now, so who knows? Maybe we'll have a second guest in the show tomorrow or the day after. Might just happen, would be really cool, right? So we'll see what happens there. But anyway, it's a good news if she rejoins the course, even though maybe not officially in the race. It still would be very nice to see her finish in Les Sables. I'm sure that all the fans would absolutely love that. So power to Sam on that front. Then something actually from the conversation today, because I was looking at of course the tracker throughout the day and what is happening to Lewis Burton, and it seems that his autopilot problems are persisting. But interestingly enough, Pieter Herema also had some serious autopilot problems during his journey in the Vendee Globe last time. Did manage to fix it in the end, but he had a bit of a workaround where he actually programmed his autopilot finally to a course on the map with waypoints instead of based on a direction, like a compass direction or wind. So it was quite a difficult thing to do, but that in the end enabled him to get the boat under control again. And he mentioned today that very interesting to see the type of line that Lewis is showing on the tracker, because it's more or less exactly what happened to him. He actually mentioned that he broached 22 times in that period. Can you imagine? So we'll talk a bit about that tomorrow, but that's kind of good news and bad news. Of course, the bad news that the autopilot problem seems to be persevering and being really quite serious with Lewis, so let's hope he gets out of it. But secondly, that maybe that solution might work for him also. So if his team is watching, maybe try something there. And other than that, I guess we'll have to wait and see how that situation progresses. So now let's go for a short update on the weather and the tracker, and then we'll do the long show tomorrow. Oh yeah, and there will be an update on the Jules Verne in this also, after the Vendee weather. So Jules Verne fans, wait, it's coming, and it's interesting. So looking at the race tracker, we see obviously Charlie Dalin and Thomas Rouillant doing absolutely excellent. They are in very strong weather, so really trying times, but so far it seems so good. So no major breakages or anything like that. They're just having a great time, making good speed. I mean, look at this, last 24 hours, 16.3 knots, 14.1 in the last 4 hours. In strong weather like that, that's pretty good speed. I think similar, yeah, so similar, slightly slower for Thomas, but both doing really good. And we see kind of the fleet behind them also doing similar speed. They're in similar strong weather. And interestingly, we see Jean Le Cam also still very strong in sixth place, holding on there against the the foiling power that is kind of surrounding him on every side. And of course, these guys in the downwind sailing situation now in the Southern Ocean, they have quite a bit of a speed advantage over him. But the main point I wanted to look at is Lewis Burton here. So you can see this real squiggly line which is happening, and it's a strong indication that he's experiencing still some autopilot problems, and it's been having a hard time. It seems that over the last hours he's been doing reasonably okay speed, 8.2 knots, but in the last 4 hours a bit more, 13.8. so who knows? I haven't heard anything on this. I literally just came home, so I haven't been able to really digest all of the different news and messages that came in, but it could be that he has managed to resolve the problem. His line of the last 4 hours seems to be pretty straight, so I'll check in that more and I'll include it in the update tomorrow. But it looks like he might have found a way to solve the problem there. Other than that, something I think is really interesting is L'Occitane. Of course, in the update yesterday, he was still very much in this little group here with La Fabrique and with Artisan Artipol, and there's one other one. Oh yeah, Time for Oceans here. And look how far Armel Tripon has been able to escape from that group. That is really something. So L'Occitane is really kicking it, and so close to the ice exclusion zone, or ice gate, or whatever we want to call it. It's a line, and beyond it there's ice, and he's doing really well, and good in the wind. His speed, of course, he's in a bit lower wind speeds right now, but still 17.6 knots average over the last 24 hours. That's really good. So a lot of people keep saying to me in the comments and also in the email, like, my money is on L'Occitane. Let's see what happens there. And I mean, so far he's really doing great. So perhaps he just really found his stride here in the Southern Ocean with these foils of him that are rumored to be producing quite a stable ride. I haven't heard any real details on that particular aspect of it. I'll actually dig into that a little bit more over this week, see what I can find for you guys on that. But it's interesting to see that he basically came from pretty much being on equal footing actually with Pip not like a week ago or so, because he had, of course, several problems on board. And look at the kind of lead on that group that he's been able to build, basically in about a day and a half. And on his way to, maybe at some point get closer to pure Best Western and Banque Populaire here. So just really good on Armel, and I wish him really the best. And something we talked about also yesterday, we see that Cherelle now very close to Merci. Both more or less arrived at the ice exclusion zone again, and doing really well. Jeremy's speed right now, 14 knots right now, doing 18, but average over the last 4 hours of 14. And I think very much like L'Occitane, now that he's close to that ice exclusion line, he's just going to keep riding that shortest route. And let's hope the weather is reasonably favorable to him and actually to the whole fleet. But let's actually look at the weather real quick to see what we can deduce. So here we see the head group. Let's load the prediction lines for both Riant and Charlie Dalin here, and look at the well. This is the weather right now. So both of them right in the middle of that strong weather, and that's going to last a while. And yeah, unfortunately, it's gonna keep moving east with them. I'm kind of curious to see what the prediction says as far as how long it's going to stay with them. Oh, that's just going to keep getting worse and worse, isn't it? Yeah, Charlie really getting the full brunt of it. That's quite something, yeah. So I guess until tomorrow. So until tomorrow around 11, Charlie is going to be right in the middle of it. And I guess Thomas Riant a little bit more lucky that the system is going to, it's moving quite fast, so that's going to pass him a little bit earlier, kind of early on. Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, it'll have passed Riant, and he'll be able to, you know, sail hopefully a little bit more comfortably and a little bit less wind. He'll have 25 to 30 still, but not, you know, 45 to 50 and 8-meter high waves. But Charlie, yeah, basically he's been having this, of course, for basically about 24 hours now, and it's going to, for him at least, continue another 36 or so of, yeah, the before mentioned 45 to 50 knots with 8 meters waves. That is, yeah, not an enviable sailing position, but Thomas is a pro, so let's count on the fact that he can handle himself. And yeah, if he gets through this, you know, okay, and without any damage to the boat, then I guess we can very confidently say that Apivia is in absolute killer shape, and that Thomas has all of the situations well in hand. And I would say if he gets through this and all is well, you know, then I would say good luck to anybody trying to keep up with this guy, because he's proven himself above and beyond at that point as far as I'm concerned. So let's see how he gets through it, and yeah, that's what I can say about that right now. Let's quickly move on to the Trophee Jules Verne, because just when you thought that everything was in the bag, we see that obviously the old record has been gaining a little bit on the new one. So they've been doing really well till about yesterday evening. And then I guess, well, let's load the wind in here also. And then I guess they, you know, got into a little bit more of a quieter wind zone. So as you can see, a little bit less wind there. It's not that significant, but still a little less boat speed. And as they passed the Cape, the record itself also moving really fast, and now closing in again a little bit. So they're still ahead, but if you remember yesterday they were a little over, well, almost 700 nautical miles ahead. Today, at this moment, they're 311 nautical miles ahead. So imagine that. A distance over 24 hours, the old record gained 311 nautical miles on them. Both going at incredible, you know, these incredible speeds of, you know, on average over 35 knots. So it kind of boggles the mind, the distances that these trimarans are able to cross. But I can imagine, you know, the pressure that the Sodebo crew is under, feeling kind of the hot breath of this old record, you know, in their necks. And yeah, it's quite something to see IDEX Sport just gain on them, you know, like a monster from behind, just at this incredible speed. So right now, if we look at the weather, Sodebo does have a really good strong weather window. that's probably going to create a little bit more waves than the boat likes, so that might slow them down a little bit also. But when we look right now, we see again 30.7 knots and an average over the last 24 hours of 24.7 knots. So that's again really incredible speed. But as we see over the last 24 hours, dipped quite a bit, 14 knots VMG, so you know, quite a bit slower for the little bit there, as I already explained. But yeah, let's hope that they get through the next 24 hours good and can kind of get past this storm and into a little bit flatter sea and build up a little bit more of those real above 32 and beyond speeds, which is basically what they will need in order to stay ahead of this record. It's just crazy to think about it. Like, you have to stay above 30 to 32 knots more or less most of the time if you have any hell of a chance to beat this record. It boggles the mind. But yeah, that's what I can say about the Jules Verne right now. So that's it for the show today. A little bit shorter, but I also still have to edit this, and if I take too long in the show, I just won't get it ready before 7 o'clock at night here, and I have some other things to do also still. So again, thank you all for watching. Lots more updates tomorrow. Tomorrow also update on our Seawolves team, because the Seawolves are actually doing really well. The team A is completely full. We had some jazz running into creating team B, so I'll need actually some of your guys' help for that tomorrow. But the team right now doing really well, so an update on that in the show tomorrow, and obviously the interview with Peter Herema tomorrow, and perhaps also a little talk with Sam Davis if we can get that managed. So look forward to the show tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Make sure to like, of course, subscribe if you haven't yet. Make sure you hit the bell icon, and for more information, great hoodies, t-shirts, coffee mugs. Soon I'll have the Seawolf coffee mug also here. Can't wait for that thing to show up really. And I guess I'll see you all tomorrow.